Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have this 2019 BMW M3, and is this still worth one if you're picking one up in 2025? Of course, this is built for performance, so we do get this really nice aggressive front design with these LED headlights, and we do have this real functioning air vents down here below and splitters going on. And we do have these 20-inch amazing rims with this amazing design. They are also magnesium, and we do have these carbon ceramic brakes. And they also say M3 right over there with our M badging. Back we get LED taillights. Once again, really nice design of the rear splitter, and we do have quad exhaust, which does sound amazing. What you just heard was a 3-liter twin-turbo V6. So we do have different power options. This one does have the M Competition package. So that does increase the horsepower to 444 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. We do have the M3 Competition with the X drive. That makes 523 horsepower and 479 foot-pound-feet of torque. But we don't have this. We just have the M3 Competition. So it does make 444 horsepower. And we do have a 7-speed dual-clutch DCT transmission. And as you can see, this engine, everything layout looks amazing. This carbon fiber sport bar going all the way through, and this massive water turbo cooler charger going on right over here. And then the 0 to 60 time is 3.8 seconds, which is amazing for a V6. Do have keyless entry. All you have to do is just pull on the door handle, and if you do have the key fob with you, it will unlock the for you. So starting with the interior, it is quite decent. Of course, by 2025 standards, it is quite outdated, but in my opinion, for a fun sports vehicle, it's still amazing. Of course, this is push start. I'm gonna press on the brakes and then press the start stop. There you go. The twin turbo comes to life. And overall layout, I kind of don't like the positioning of the infotainment system. I wish it was a little bit more towards the driver, so it's easier to adjust while you are driving the vehicle. However, we do have this small control which can be used to adjust it, but it's still not as good as just a touching what do you want. So I really wish this display was a little bit right over here, so it's easier to use while you're driving the vehicle. Overall, the material is really nice, all soft touch going all the way throughout the dash. It's not as good as a 7 series or even the 5 series. Of course, this is the M3, so it's like a little bit more cost efficient compared to the other models. However, we do have this heated leather wrapped steering wheel. We do have our M badging right over here, and of course, this one does have this amazing red trim going on. And we do have these amazing sport bucket seats, which are also heated and vented. And we do have our M3 inside our seats. And of course, we do have this amazing seat belt, which does has the M series colorway going all the way throughout the seat belt. Right over here, we do have our controls for the automatic headlights. And we do have this analog heat cluster. It does feel amazing, but the one thing I would like to say is not as good as we get in other sports vehicle of the same year. So for example, we have the Cadillac ATS-V. Even though it is a Cadillac, of course it does still make the same amount of performance, but Cadillac's supposed to be a little bit less than BMW. However, it does has a better instrument cluster which can be customized, but here we kind of really don't have any customization at all. I mean, it still does give you all the information, but no customization at all though. So for example, if I change my modes over here, we do have our traction off, our engine mode. So for example, it's an efficient, we have sport, we have sport plus. It does show you that option right there, but I can't really do anything. We do have the same adjustments for our suspension and our steering wheel, and we do have option to bring up your side view cameras, and we do have our park assist. It does bring, I mean, it kind of, if you think about it, it kind of does has a 360-degree camera, but it doesn't has a front-facing camera. It only has the sides and the rear-facing camera. We really don't have a front-facing camera at all. We have this infotainment system. We do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We do have built-in nav, and it's actually really easy to use overall. And as I was saying before, we can use everything from over here. We do have our media, menu, our map, your nav, and all that systems. And of course I can adjust everything, go back using this knob right over here. Show you what you're currently making, how much power and how much torque you're currently making. So let's say I'm gonna a little bit floor it. There you go. The horsepower comes up, the torque comes up. It shows you how much you're making. And we do have what they call a split screen. So right over here I can have something else, and right over here I can have something else. And moving on down below, we do have a lot of carbon fiber going on, which does look amazing. 2 simple air vents, our flasher control, and then we have our infotainment control. Of course, we do have a CD player, and we have a dual climate control system, which is quite easy to use, and it's really simple. We do have 2 cup holders right over here, and we do have 1 electric port right over here. And then as I was talking before, this isn't a DCT transmission, so it kind of works like in a manual and at the same time like an automatic. So we don't have a parking gear. So right now it's in neutral, and I do have the parking brake stop. You have to do that, otherwise the vehicle will just roll. So if I want to put it into drive, I just put it into, if I want to put a reserve, I do this and forward. Now it's in reverse, it does bring up the rear view camera. And now it's back in neutral. And if I want to put it into drive, I just do this. Now it's in DS. Now I can either shift the gears using this right over here if I want to, or we do have these paddle shifters on the right over here, which I can use to adjust and change the gears. So right now 1 and 2, of course the vehicle is parked, I can't put it into a higher gear than 2. This is how this system works. It may seem a little bit weird at first, but this does has better performance compared to the regular automatic transmission that we get in the non-competition version. And we do have a small center console, which does has a USB-A port in there. Okay guys, so in the second row of this M3, it's quite decent, and I actually have a really good amount of legroom and headroom. I'm a 6 feet, as you can see. The front driving seat is in the driving position, and as you can see, I have a really good amount of legroom and headroom. We do get the same type of material quality that we get in the front, all soft touch leather going all the way through. And right over here, we do have our controls for the heated seats. We don't have vented seats, we only have heated seats, and we have 2 air vents. Of course, a lighter port as well in the back here. And one thing we're missing is an armrest that we do get in most other vehicles, but we don't get in the M3. However, this like rear design of the seats is really good. However, we do have some hard plastic here, but this is all soft touch, and it does look amazing. I have the trunk popped open, and as you can see, we have a ton of room in the back here. So of course this vehicle is actually really practical, and we do have more storage down here below. And is this vehicle actually worth $58,000, which this is currently listed at? Of course you can find other cheaper models too with high miles, but this one only has 25,000 miles on it. So that being said, that's why it's actually worth close to 60K. In my opinion, to be honest, I really wouldn't buy this old one for 60K. In my opinion, I think the ATS-V is a way better option. You can easily pick those up for around 30K, and it will have around 50,000 miles on it, and it will be making 475 horsepower stock. Of course, it's not as much track focused as this, but it will still compete with this thing really good. Of course, if you do like a BMW, that's their thing, then go for it. But I would personally go with the ATS. And one thing, please do check out Ride and Drive here in Garland, Texas. They're the one, they have this vehicle and many other luxury vehicles like this Corvette, AMGs, and Porsches. And please do like and subscribe. Thank you.